Hello, troopers, and welcome back to G.A.R. Productions. Today we'll be taking a look, at the most expensive Imperial Army Builders. We're going to be looking at the top 5, and yeah, some of these were a lot more expensive than I thought they had gotten to. I remember getting one of these in particular for $15, and I thought that was a lot. And it's considerably more than 15. So let's jump right into it. And I've grouped some of them together because they're kind of similar in price and style. And at the bottom end, I thought I was going to be doing the Imperial Shock Trooper. No, not by a long shot. That is half as much as the first most expensive Stormtrooper. And I could be off by a little bit. I might have missed one or two that are also expensive. But from what I can tell, these are the most expensive army builders for the Empire. And that is going to be the various Imperial Sand Troopers with the 2014 to 2019 Stormtrooper helmet design. Whether you're looking at the just General Enlisted with the black pauldron, the Sergeant with the white, or the Commander with the orange. And they range from the cheapest, one of the just regular Sand Troopers with the black pauldron. He's about $35 on the cheap end. The Sergeant is $40. Another just slight variation of the Imperial Stormtrooper, the Imperial Sand Trooper with the black pauldron is $45, and the Sand Trooper Commander is also $45. So those are quite expensive. I would like more of those ones in particular. It's my favorite type of Sand Trooper that LEGO has made. But it's just at that price, I really can't afford to army build. Again, that was the trooper. I remember getting three or four of the just regular infantry Sand Trooper with the black pauldron, and they were like $15 a piece. I was like, oh, it's kind of expensive, and that was 2018, 2017, 2018, and now they're $35 to $40 a trooper. But that's beside the point. So yeah, that one is quite expensive. And again, all of these are expensive, but that's the cheapest of the variants. Next, we have the various, about the similar price actually, we have the various Imperial Scarif Shore Troopers, or more specifically Shore Troopers. The cheapest is actually the Captain, actually, without the pauldron. He is about 30 to, there's like one or two for 30, but most of them are like 40 to 45. And then there's the regular infantry ones are 42, 45. And then the squad leader with the pauldron, which I think looks the best with just the regular, with the sand blue arms. He's actually my favorite Shore Trooper. He is, again, one for 35, but mostly 45, couple 50s. So it's right around 45 for all of them, but there's not like crazy high quantities. The Captain has the highest quantity at 45 for 10 of them, but that's going to be about it. And you're going to be hard pressed to find the squad leader for higher quantities. Again, similar price, but there's a lot less availability of him. So pretty much all the Shore Troopers are at about 45, and it's kind of a shame we didn't, I don't know how they would have put it, but we saw them again in Andor. It would have been nice to somehow get a set just to get those again to make them a little cheaper. But yeah, that didn't happen. So some very expensive troopers to build, or to army build, and it's only going to get worse from here on in. At the number 3 spot, for some reason I got my numbers off with this one. I apologize. It's kind of towards the end. Actually, he kind of technically should be at the beginning. Actually, is going to be the Imperial Death Trooper, the Specialist / Commander with the printed sonic grenades on his waist, and then also with the black pauldron. So he is running that right at $40 for the cheap end. There's a lot for 40, but then he starts going up. But there's a good quantity at 40, but still, he's the cheapest, most expensive Imperial Trooper to army build, and really a great figure. I cannot praise LEGO enough for the Imperial Trooper designs from, I'd say, this and Solo. I know Solo, not as many people I really like, but I really like the Imperial Trooper designs from both those movies, and I think LEGO did a phenomenal job executing the design and production of the Shore Trooper, the Death Trooper, the Range Trooper, and the Mimban Stormtrooper. I think they did an amazing job, and I give them high praise for that. I know recently with clones, they might not have done as well. Certain figures haven't been done as well, but high praise should be commended for these Imperial troops. And then lastly, or the last two I have, kind of going on from where we are, ones I just mentioned, we have the Imperial Range Trooper. He is right at $60 a trooper. A very cool design. Not one I have in my personal collection. Really didn't want one back when I built my Imperial Army. I wouldn't mind one now, but at $60, I don't know when I'll be getting one, but it's probably not going to be super anytime soon. So he is the second most Imperial trooper to Army build. There's other Imperials that might be expensive, but and specifically an Imperial trooper to Army build. And then lastly, the most expensive Army builder for the Empire is the Mimban Stormtrooper. The cheapest is $70, but there's only one. Otherwise, you start getting to $82 and $85, and that is it. That is all the quantity. This is Bricklink average, of course, but that is all the cheaper quantity that they have for the Mimban Stormtrooper on Bricklink. There's only 3. And then there's a couple more for $200 a piece, over $200. So very limited supply and very, very expensive Stormtrooper. So not only is he the most expensive, but he seems to be the rarest trooper in not having that much quantity. And I don't know if that's the set that it came in. I thought a lot of people got that TIE Fighter. That is my favorite TIE Fighter. I think it is the best TIE Fighter. I don't know if people thought it was overpriced or people didn't get as much. I think it used to be on clearance. So I don't know if people didn't get it that often. I don't know why, because that, in my opinion, has been the best TIE Fighter. But that's beside the point. Whatever the case is, the Mimban Stormtrooper is the hardest Imperial trooper to Army build by a significant margin in price and quantity. So comments down below, guys, what you think of the list. Comment maybe what troops you do have in what you managed to get for your Imperial Army, and what maybe some Imperial Stormtroopers or Stormtrooper types are you trying to get for your army, whether on this expensive list, or stay tuned for next week on the cheap list or the inexpensive list of Imperial troops to Army build, which one you're trying to add to your Imperial Army. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.